What's going on, everyone? It is Super here, and I'm bringing you guys another Injustice 2 video. Now today is another hands-on video where I talk about my experience and what I learned playing with specific characters. And this video is going to be dedicated to only Captain Cold, and the final one is going to be dedicated to the other character you guys see on the screen, Firestorm, who ended up being my favorite character. And he was already my most anticipated character, and he did not disappoint. But today we're talking about Captain Cold, and more specifically my Captain Cold setup that you guys saw in my combo video. And I'm definitely going to go over some of the stuff that I really liked with Captain Cold, but I'm going to talk about this specific setup. And it's not only what you guys saw in that combo video, which this was literally the first time that I played Captain Cold. Immediately I went into the corner because I knew this was going to be something that was going to be really strong. As soon as I saw Captain Cold's gameplay and saw that the icicle coming from the top, from the sky, did not knock down, and it has a lot of hit stun. So I went straight to the corner and came up with this specific setup that I'm going to be talking about in a bit. But let's just go over some general things with Captain Cold. The first thing that I noticed is he only has like 6 combo strings. As you guys see there, he has 7, but in reality, he only has around 5 that are good or decent that I could see myself using while playing this character. So let's start off with his fastest button, which surprisingly is not standing 1. It's actually standing 2, and I believe it was 8 frames, and that is really slow for your fastest punishing button. Really slow. His stand 1 is 9 frames. 9 frames is so slow for a high that goes into it does go into overhead. You could also do 1-2-2, which knocks your opponent back, and you could special cancel it. I don't think you want to do that in the mid screen because it pushes your opponent like far back. So in the corner though, you could definitely get the ice wall to connect after a 1-2-2. Moving on, like I mentioned, stand 2 is his fastest button, so then that leads to 2-1 being his fastest punish. 2-1, you could cancel it into any special moves. 2-1-3 is actually a hard knockdown that's plus 31 on a hit, which is definitely significant. So if you're in the corner and you want to have your opponent get hard knockdown, which means he can't like wake up with a special move, and then you do your icicle setup, that definitely works as well. So definitely 2-1-3 in the corner is pretty strong. Back 2 is actually his best mid, or I should say one of his good mids. I think forward 2 is probably his best mid, but back 2 is definitely a nice mid that he has. Back 2-3 is a fast 2-hitting string. Back 2-3-2 is his best combo ender, which you guys didn't see me use here because, like I mentioned, it was just like the first time. And then, you know, when I look back at the footage, when I was like trying out all these different combo strings that he had, back 2-3-2 is definitely the best combo string that you could end your combo in because it does the most damage. And the good thing about back 2-3-2 is it's plus 2 on block. So that's definitely, you know, being plus 2 on block with having forward 2, which is, in my opinion, his best mid, is definitely something good. And right here, I'm like, his down one's a low, really? His down one is a low. Okay, this is going to be a nice setup here. I'll talk about that in a bit. But like I mentioned, forward 2, his best mid. It leads into forward 2-3, forward 2-3-3, which could be canceled at any point of that string. Moving on to his special moves, he has a straight shot that does like 8%. Animation is really cool. If you meter burn it, actually shoots 2 projectiles, but it does not freeze the opponents. Your best choice for that is his low ice puddle, which is, you know, punishable on block. Of course, it's, you know, a low ice puddle that leads into combos, that leads into setups. So of course, you know, it's going to be punishable on block. So the ice puddle is definitely your best friend when it comes to combos with Captain Cold. So he has his Death Sickle, which is the overhead icicle that drops from the sky, which you guys have seen in my, you know, specific Captain Cold setup. Now, the Death Sickle is really good. It does start up pretty slow, but after it comes out, you pretty much recover instantly. And get this, guys, check out this frame data. So the Death Sickle is plus 27 on block. So that overhead icicle that drops down, if your opponent manages to block your setup, it doesn't matter. You're plus 27 on block. That's old Kung Lao orbiting hat type of block stun, which is ridiculous because it gives you so many more options, or so many options to do anything you want. And on hit, if your opponent gets hit by it, the cool thing about, no pun intended, the cool thing about this, you know, setup is that the overhead does not knock down, and it's plus 47 on hit. So that means you could pick and control whether you want to hit low first, you want the icicle to hit overhead first, and then you hit them with the low. You know, you could pretty much control what you want to do with the specific setup, which I think, you know, is one of the reasons why I like it so much. And I did get, you know, a lot of compliments on that, so I appreciate it. And if the overhead hits second and you know it's going to hit, then you don't even need to do a down one afterwards. You could connect it into any combo string that you have because it's plus 47 on hit. So that the icicle is definitely really good. The meter burn version, to be honest, I really don't see any reason to use it. Because maybe in the mid screen if you're trying to keep someone out, because I have this funny clip where I'm like, I told my friend, try to get over these, and I just kept dropping meter burn icicles, and there's just like these big blocks of ice just blocking the opponent from coming close to me. Eventually he is able to jump the final one, but it's just, you know, if you do want to keep your opponent away, you could definitely do that, but just keep in mind they could jump over it. The only other, you know, positive thing would be on block, because the meter burn icicle is plus 55 on block. But to be honest, plus 27 is good enough for me, and the meter burn block of ice actually knocks your opponent down, so it sort of takes away, you know, the really good options in the corner of whether you want it to hit overhead first or low first, because if the overhead knocks down, you obviously want to hit the low first. Your opponent's going to know about that already. So it kind of takes away, you know, the purpose of like really hard to block setup. So other than that, I think that's about it as far as the special moves. So let's talk about this specific Captain Cold setup that I came up with during this event. So the base of the setup is like sort of like a little concept of a setup. I know it's going to get improved on significantly and optimized and everything once the game comes out. So what I did was I had set my level 3 trait. You definitely don't need it, but I just set it just to, you know, be a little bit more flashy. But you can definitely work your way up and earn that specific level 3 trait. And the cool thing about that is it's a instant freeze. It's like an instant full screen freeze. It's not like a one frame or anything like that, and by instant I mean it's probably like, I don't know, 3-4 frames. It's really fast, but it sort of like makes Captain Cold shoot a giant, you know, field of ice, and it instantly freezes your opponent. So that's probably one of the best, that's probably your best option, I would say, because you could catch your opponent jumping, and you know, it's gonna do a lot of damage, because Captain Cold does a good amount of damage, and he has a lot of corner push. So the corner is where you want to have your opponent, because then you can do these specific setups. So working your way up to that level 3 trait is going to be really important. He does have another, his level 2 trait is actually, it makes like a little igloo of ice, and the more your opponent is stuck inside that specific range of ice, he gets frozen. So that's another, you know, setup that you can use with the corner setup that I have here, because he's taking damage and he's being frozen slowly. So it's definitely good. Like I mentioned, I only had a little bit of time to record and to like really work on this, so I know it'll get optimized as soon as the game comes out. But just for like style points, I did a down 2 into the ice wall, so the ice wall like made the opponent bounce, and then you continue your combo from there. And you could either end your combo in the hard knockdown and then you do the icicle call, or you could do a specific combo string into the icicle call and have your opponent be able to wake up. So the cool thing about this specific setup is if you think your opponent's gonna wake up, you do a meter burn forward 3, which is a meter burn overhead. If your opponent wakes up, the icicle is obviously going to hit him, but it will go right through him because wake ups are invincible. But if you use a meter burn forward 3, you're actually going to absorb that specific hit of the wake up, and you're going to launch your opponent again. And if you actually do connect with a forward 3, that's even more damage, because, you know, if you start off with a raw back 3 or forward 3, it's like max damage potential. So if you know your opponent is going to wake up, definitely, you know, do a meter burn forward 3, because it's going to launch your opponent in the corner, and then you could put him in the same situation again, and he could only have so much meter. And if he doesn't have so much meter, you know, he's going to be waking up into a either low to overhead or overhead to low or low overhead low setup, which is what the icicle setup is. The one thing that they can do is they can delay wake up, but I think the icicle comes down right as delayed wake up ends. So he's going to be like waking up into the icicle being close to the ground, like almost touching the ground, but it's still going to hit your opponent no matter what. So it doesn't matter if they delay wake up. If they get up really quickly, you could check them with a down 1, which is the really important thing. And down 1 has enough hit stun in order to check your opponent as soon as he wakes up and still have the icicle connect. And guess what? The icicle doesn't knock down. So you could connect another combo that you have, or another down 1 for another low, you know, setup. So that's why I think this you know, specific Captain Cold setup is really strong, because you pretty much have a way to deal with all of your opponent's options. The only thing that your opponent could do to maybe get out of the combo is he could meter burn roll out of it if you don't time your check, your down 1 check properly. He could do a meter burn rollout to get out of your combo, but hey, guess what? You're in the corner. Most likely you're going to be still doing your combo in the corner, so your opponent's sort of like going to fall into your combo, and it's still going to be put into the same situation. If you think your opponent's going to wake up, you do a meter burn forward 3, or you could do like a specific mid, like a forward 2 or back 2 into a meter burn forward 3. So then you hit your opponent once, or you throw out that move once, and then you still cancel it into your meter burn forward 3. You get a hit of armor. It's sort of like a little option select right there. And if your opponent doesn't do anything, then you know, the mix-ups are yours. You could, like I mentioned, you could check him. If he blocks it, it doesn't matter, because the icicle's coming down. You're going to be plus 27 if he blocks it. You could even get 2 down 1s before the icicle hits if he stands up immediately. So you could check him with 1. If he blocks it, you could do another down 1 right as the icicle is about to hit him. The second down 1 hits first, and then that connects into the icicle. Plus 47 icicle on hit. You could get a combo string afterwards. You could freeze your opponent after that, get put into the same situation. So I really love this setup with Captain Cold, and it was not optimized at all when I did that specific combo. I ended it in 1-2 instead of ending it in back 2-3 or 2-1-3 or anything like that, because like I mentioned, it was like the very first thing that I learned with Captain Cold. But once the game comes out, definitely try the setup. I know it's going to be really good unless they nerf it somehow. Maybe they make the icicle, the regular icicle, actually knock down, or they reduce the plus advantage on hit or on block. So I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I know that this is definitely one of the best things that I found in Injustice 2 when I played it. So that's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.